And we are live with the second game of the day, featuring Angry Pikachus facing off against Perpetuum here. Both teams are ready to roll. I am Soza, joined here now by Shadowboy. Shadowboy, how are you doing this morning after Halloween?
Pretty darn good if I have to say so myself. And I think that Angry Pikachus as well as Perpetuum are doing much better. They're in the final stages of our Challenger Series, getting ready to try and claim that #1 spot and get the best chance at winning the whole shebang. But starting out this game, it looks like they're going to have to play against each other. And I think this is actually one of the closer matches we saw last week.
These are honestly the top 8 here. EU has been such an everybody can beat everybody region that I'd say most of these matches can be close ones, but yeah, Perpetuum and Angry Pikachus are two of the matches we seem to see be these long 40, 50-minute slugfests that happen very, very often. And Sun Wukong and Geb on the line here makes a lot of sense to see it go this way, but Serqet also locked in for the Angry Pikachus.
Let's see here, Jin-Chan being hovered on by Angry Pikachus. They have a lot of options here. Of course, that is a strong pick right now for a lot of people, but there are others that I think could just do just as well. If you wanted to put more forward pressure, I think that you could go for the not Hunbots. Well, I mean, you could go for Hunbot solo, but what I was meaning was you can go for the Isis pick up here. That seems to be like one of the mages that a lot of people really value, and it looks like yeah, it's going to be an Isis Athena lock in, whereas Perpetuum is going to go for Agni as their mage of choice. Now, not sure if necessarily it was going to get banned out in the next phase, but they didn't feel comfortable leaving it up to question, so they're just going to go ahead and go into the next ban phase with that pick. I think they could have done a bit better with one of their actual junglers that they wanted.
I would have definitely liked to have seen a jungle pickup like you suggested, Shadowboy, but picking up Agni as a mid laner, definitely one to go for, especially with the fact that at this point, both of these teams have faced us enough to know the strong points of every player on each other's teams, or at least know what kind of gods they've likely got prepped. So, picking up one of your strong mid laners for Perpetuum, definitely a great way to go here if you're not too certain of what else you want to look into. BigManTingz, still available, being hovered on right now by AngryDayQQ here. Could be locked in, it's very likely one is BigManTingz. Still, despite the curse we've seen him suffer sometimes, is a very strong AD carry in the current meta.
Oh, but back over to Angry Pikachus. They banned out Awilix in their second banning phase, so they really wanted to avoid that jungler. Now they have to pick up a solo laner as well as an AD carry. Now, seeing that your opposing lane is a Hoyi Geb, you have a lot of comfortability to just go for something a bit more early pressure, just to try and maybe escalate that lane in your favor. And the hover overs that they're going over right now seem to fit the bill pretty well. That they've kind of highlighted over Anhur for a bit now, so I'm thinking that that might be the one of choice. But Chronos locked in for sure, and Anhur is going to be the AD carry, so a lot of attack damage focus. Really surprised to see Chronos of all picks in the solo lane. They might want to try and use it against this Sun Wukong and hopefully get a lot of pressure in that lane, as Chronos sometimes has an easier time against Sun Wukong. Not guaranteed. It could easily sway either way. I think I'd give it like 60-40 in favor of like a really good Chronos.
It's going to be an interesting matchup to watch, in my opinion. That's going to be the lane to keep our eye on, at least in the early mid spikes that Chronos will be seeing here. Same for Sun Wukong. So solo lane will be a lane to watch here, and this is going to be a ton of sustained damage side of Angry Pikachus, but Perpetuum looking to fire back with possibly a Thor. He's hovered, he's locked in, and that is one way to bring aggression to the map. Put out an aggressive jungler as Thor. Global gank, no harm for them at all.
So I really like Perpetuum's team. I mean, of course, it has a lot of survivability with Geb and Sun Wukong. Thor, of course, Thor is going to be making high rotations across the map, and then on top of all that, you have Agni with burst damage in the backside. I think that they have a lot of tools here. Their team fight is going to be fantastic, lot of AoE presence, and AoE is really strong in Smite. Over on Angry Pikachus, I think they have a bit more of a pick focus team composition. They're going to look for a lot of opportunities to just pick off a couple of pick off a couple of enemy team members that are a little out of position. So, say for example, Serqet running around. She's going to be able to find maybe a Thor. Isis comes in. Stun ball plus any damage, really, that Serqet offers is usually 9 times out of 10 going to finish off Thor. So they have a lot of opportunity. And then, of course, you also have to mention the Athena global presence. That's a pretty good laning pick composition so far. But I don't know how well they're going to do once we get to the later stages of the game. Not to say they don't have the damage, because Chronos.
I mean, both teams are honestly equally terrifying here. I want to harken back from what you said in the past that you're a very big fan of crowd control on teams, and I think Perpetuum has a lot of very easy to confirm crowd control on their side. So that'll work wonders in these team fights. There's also got a lot of ways to cleanse out of these stuns that Angry Pikachus can put out. So I think this is going to very much be a skill matchup of the two teams. I think the team comps are good enough in their own ways to boil it down to who plays their own game better. Whether the Angry Pikachus can find their picks as they want and play their pick composition as it needs to be played here. Maybe find the occasional Agni lockdown. Find Vastrakal without a dive bomb available. Lock down a Thor with no ultimate teleport available. But it'll be tough to lock it down. Whereas Perpetuum, they've got a lot of really strong crowd control in team fights. So if they can find those big team fight ultimates, they can find those big game-swinging plays, they're the kind of teams that you would see miracle plays come out of.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see for a moment as we go ahead and get loaded into the game, guys. You go ahead and take a seat, get relaxed. We'll be right back after a brief moment.
And we're live with the action of the second game of the day, featuring Angry Pikachus facing off against Perpetuum. This is game 2 of 6 that you'll see today. You'll see 6 matches out of the group stages here. As like I said, best of 2 in essence, as all teams will play each other twice in the group stages. The top 2 from each group will move on to the bracket stages of the Smite Game Challengers Cup here for EU.
Yeah, and this is why this is such an important stage of these matches, because they all want that opportunity. I mean, what's the prize pool again? Something close to $1,000?
It's quite a bit of money there, in the thousands.
10
grand, I believe, overall. So a nice chunk of change for winning a couple of games of Smite a week, I'd say.
A bit more than
a bit more than a couple of games a week. I'm oversimplifying it a ton, but yeah, there's way more to it there. But yeah, definitely a nice little prize there for winning this one away, and it's good practice for the actual play-ins coming up soon for getting the SPL.
Yeah, but I mean, both teams have shown a lot of promise. I mean, for goodness sake, Angry Pikachus was one of the teams that last week just jumped rank. I mean, they were all the way at the bottom, and then all of a sudden they just came way up to the top based off just a couple of performances here and there. So I'm really impressed by where they've come, or wherever they've come from and where they've gotten to. But, you know, getting into this game, nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of builds, but there is a typical amount of pressure being put onto Agni, as he has a hard time clearing against an Isis with Purple Pot and being able to keep up with her.
Yeah, this Isis matchup is going to be an incredibly ugly thing early on here. AngryDayQQ is going to struggle a bit in this lane. Tikkyy should be able to help preserve his life for a little bit of time right now, so that is one thing going in his favor. But at the same time, AngryDayQQ still going to struggle here, still going to deal with the fact that Darzer will be in his face constantly. Now that Lace is here on an Awilix, well, on a Serqet actually, he's going to struggle, but Lofes not going to struggle at all here. First blood coming in for a Chronos in the solo lane.
Very good job by Chronos getting that first blood. It's going to be very beneficial to their team getting him ahead, especially since he's working on that Warlock Sash. As soon as he gets that item online, he's going to be able to do a lot for his team. But, you know, a little bit concerning to see your Wukong die that quickly and by himself at that.
Yeah, and by himself especially. It's not even going to lose against the Chronos, because now the lag does look like it's going to be starting to kick into full force, it seems. Hopefully just spectator lag on my end, Shadow Boy, but yeah, that is not the kind of thing you want to see early on in the game. That's the kind of thing you get a little bit worried about in a solo queue game. But these players are incredibly solid, so I don't think it's going to rifle them too much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, solo queue games, that's where that would be like the, oh, come on, how is the Sun Wukong losing to Chronos? You're like a tank! Sorry about that, I lost my voice. But yeah, basically that's the scenario that most people get under the impression. But a lot of things you have to remember is, in the same sense that Neith can really bully out a Sun Wukong, is just like a Chronos, except Chronos has a bit more burst damage. Neith has a bit more CC. Neith has a bit more CC. That's usually the difference, Baker, right there.
It's an excessive amount of lockdown and CC that can come from both of them here, so that's likely the reason why he managed to get shut out here, and it is a very less than rare matchup here as Reavel, once again, having a lot of trouble against Lofes here. One more time bridge could seal the deal. He almost finds it, but Reavel does have just enough sustain to keep himself in here, but Lofes having such a strong time in lane, and Lace going for the fight. He's looking for the Cobra's Kiss, but a leap on forward. Reavel does get a quick leap away there with his 72 transformation, so he does have that safety here. Lace losing a blink, but Lofes and Reavel going to be going toe-to-toe incredibly often here, and they want to find more action possibly, as Reavel just can't close the gap to that lane. Lofes just has way too much pressure and way too much kill pressure on him right now.
Oh, but now it looks like Lace wants to still try and dive this, maybe. Chronos already back. I don't think that Lace is actually going to go through with it. But over in the dual lane is where the action is going to continue. And it appears like that's going to be a Thor up in the air, coming down, missing the stun, but lands a double tap on Isis. She's going to be taken out first, and then next up is looking to be Athena, but she's able to get out just fine, making their way back over to their own purple buff. Perpetuum is just going to complete this one and go back to laning, but good little series of play there. A little concerning to see that Thor wasn't able to land that ultimate onto two pretty...
He hit 2 targets there from the looks of it, actually. He caught him circle protection on my screen from the looks of it, but...
My angle, it looked like he missed, but I'm glad if he hit, because those were 2 very stationary targets. So,
yeah, I look if they all got stunned there inside of it. That's what it looked like from my end, but like I said, I don't seem to suspect a lag at this point, so it could be unreliable.
Serqet and Isis are going to clear out the middle wave while 3 members of Perpetuum on the other side. A little low on mana, so they can't exactly do anything. No blink on Geb just yet. He did back and buy the Shoes of Focus, so he is wanting to get that mobility and damage up, and he's not going to be able to actually have that blink initiation combo that we so often fear from the Geb. A little bit surprised to see that he didn't do that. And more importantly, Geb, where's your wards? Oh, you have one. Okay, I can't say anything now. I can't say anything now.
You can't say much of anything at this point, Shadow Boy, as Geb definitely going to get that ward rolling incredibly quickly here. So, AngryDayQQ is going to start playing the Vision game against Perpetuum, who will start to play up their own as well here. Going to be a very, very key thing against a Thor, as you cannot stress enough. Thor has so many ways of finding a way in here, so they're going to be looking forward towards these Gold Fury wards, these tight quarter wards, and these sneaky places that Thor will look to ulti from here. But Tikkyy still has a lot of ways to be cheeky if he wants to.
Yeah, but I think what's a little bit more important in my opinion is that Wukong gets some wards up around his area, because not necessarily worried about any global presence, but you still have to be conscious of the fact that you're behind. You're behind a Chronos. He's going to be able to do most of the damage necessary to take you out, and then all of a sudden Serqet has to just lock you in long enough to where you can't use your ultimate and regen yourself up to a reasonable state of the of the lane. And I like the fact that he did ward up there. I mean, he threw one down just to try and stay safe. But yeah, if I was on the side of Perpetuum, I would be telling my jungler, hey, this is free kills all day. Just CC him just before he wants to ult, and we have a kill.
At the same time, Perpetuum has to be careful in the solo lane here. You've got JustLofes on Chronos, somebody who can scale up incredibly hard if given the potential and pressure from his jungler here. So Reavel does have to be worried here. He doesn't have these words out and about, because this is one of the few cases where I'd say it's alright to really just get in the face of the solo laner and actually camp him, because once you get Lofes ahead, he's going to be such a monster to stop for Perpetuum here. So they're going to have to be worrying so hard about him if he gets off the ground any further. But off the ground will go here as a great catch with a double taunt there from BigManTingz here. But a great rotation as Reavel comes on in. Jarvis will get locked down and locked out of the house. He's going to be killed, and in the death timers here, BigManTingz doing what he can. But AngryDayQQ has already laid down the law in the path of flames out of here. This should be the Angry Pikachu's. Falling short as Perpetuum picks up a kill and walks away.
Yeah, I mean, they sent the Wukong all the way over to the mid lane while Chronos was least expecting it, and it ended up getting them a kill, which is very important. They needed to get some kind of assist gold onto their Wukong, so him being able to walk away with that one, very beneficial to their team. Now, they're looking to transition that over into a bit more, and even get Wukong these back harpies, it looks like. That's a very greedy rotation. You might actually get punished here by, as Isis and Serqet are in the nearby area. They missed their CCs, which is very important, but, oh, there it is. Athena's going to help to secure this one, and Wukong, you got to pay... He's not gonna get the regen. He's not gonna get the regen, and so now the chase is still gonna continue. Not able to participate in the fight. He's gonna have to back off.
He's gonna massive back off here, and what an ultimate there from Tikkyy to save his life. The entirety of Perpetuum following through to save the life of their solo laner there. Did get a bit greedy, like you said, Shadowboy, and it was punished quite heavily there, but you can't afford to miss crowd control like this, especially in such a key fight like this. Dirgius now getting caught out just a little bit here, will evade the stun. A great Cataclysm will buy even more time as it catches on to 3 there, but a big cooldown down. If AngryPikachus will want to make the play, and they're going straight for it. A good call from the Pikachu, as the cooldowns are down, and the health bars are low for Perpetuum. This should be a guaranteed Gold Fury, as there's no vision here, nobody able to stop it. Pikachu secure the Gold Fury. A quick response from Perpetuum will be a bit too late here. AngryDayQQ gets caught out, but he will get the shield from Dirgius. Now we see Reavel alone in the dark lane. Incredibly low here is Reavel looking at turn around. Vastrakal looking to join from the sides. He gets the Sunbreaker down and about. Raining down death in the health source of the Pikachus here. Vastrakal diving on through with the dive bomb, trying to find his way in deep here, but Reavel instead going to be the punished one as Dirgius shows up for a quick shield, but he's out of mana and out of cooldowns now. This is the turnaround that Perpetuum might want, but the AngryPikachu, they've got eyes on the health bars and eyes on the mana bars, eyes on all kinds of cooldowns now. This could be a big engage if the AngryPikachus play it right, and Perpetuum deal the wrong hand here, so trying to bluff Pikachus. They're going to push on forward for the tower. It's a 3 versus 5, so not quite safe yet, but coming around the corner. A quick movement from BigManTingz, who's blocked. Wrong place, wrong time, and he overplays his hand a bit too early there. AngryPikachu fall short this engagement. Perpetuum will walk away with the kill, but the Pikachus did still secure the gold tier.
And that's one of the benefits of just having a large AoE CC team, is that you can just keep putting a lot of damage out onto these teams, and they can't really respond very appropriately. I mean, the whole time AngryPikachus was just kind of on their back foot, not able to really get anything going, and it just kept hurting them and hurting them and hurting them, and eventually they weren't able to really do too much else but to just fall back in their towers. Still low health, still not necessarily able to do a lot because of just naturally not having large AoEs or large initiation potentials, and they ended up losing Athena there. But not the end of the world, they are still in a comfortable spot. In fact, AngryPikachu is actually ahead in gold, farming a bit more efficiently than Perpetuum. So, credit to them. They also have the Gold Fury under their belt, so I think that right now, if you are AngryPikachus, you need to possibly look for an opportunity into the jungle when you have more ward vision up, which they do have a lot of good ward vision, just need to get a little bit deeper, and then maybe start to harass this solo lane a bit more. They've been really quiet about that one.
Yeah, they do want to start pushing the pressure on the solo lane as soon as they can, as JustLofes will, like I said, carry through for his team. He's giving an opportunity, but at the same time, he's going to scale up either way, and he's having a great time against Reavel so far, so as long as they get the pressure off the solo lane, they should be fine and dandy all over the map. But Pikachu's instead starting to actually put the pressure up in the jungle, like you said, Shadowboy. We could see a massive fight break out here. Dirgius looking for his fight, but a flank is going to come through from the AngryPikachus if they want it. AngryDayQQ going to be almost caught out there. A great path of flames away as the silent lands just seconds and frames short of a catch there. Now, we're going to see a full-on break-off and break-out from the AngryPikachus. They look for something else entirely.
Oh, but it looks like AngryPikachus are definitely going to try and get this mid tower. I mean, it looks pretty free. There's no one here to really stop it. And with Chronos attack damage cracking down onto that tower, it should go down here. Yeah, that's going to be the fight starting off too. And boom, bada ping, bada wham. That's going to be at least 1 kill. Gev going to be the first one to fall. Next up going to be Tikkyy and Reavel finding a kill in revenge onto Athena, but that's just the support. Can Agni get the stun bomb? Yes, he can. Beads used. Bomb's not going to land. That's going to be the rest of the members of AngryPikachus just walking away, winning the objective battle yet again.
AngryPikachus, it's been the story of the game so far. They may slightly lose the fight, but they always find the objective battle. They always find what they want, and that is one of the things we've seen be strong about these EU teams. They will always play the objective battle, even when they're behind, it seems, especially the AngryPikachus. And that's one of the reasons, like I said, Shadowboy, why they've been able to rocket ahead in the standings and have gone from being one of the lower-seeded teams in the top 8 to being a really strong contender for this top 2 spot in their group.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of teams forget that objectives really make a huge impact in the game. I mean, you can spend all day killing people, but at the end of the day, sometimes that's just not really gonna do it for you. You can honestly end up losing.
It's really easy to lose yourself to that mentality too. Which is kind of like the point of view, the action style it seems to have. It's really easy to just lose your sense and be like, oh, it's action, kill, 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 when really, it's still the same very strategy-focused MOBA, as now Thor looking to land here. Tikkyy not going to get the damage on the BigManTingz fast enough as BigMan making a big rotation over the mid lane just to get himself out of safety here, but a full 5 rotation on the side of Perpetuum over to this duo lane. Not going to find too much of what they want. It's a great push on through. AngryPikachu find another objective for almost free right there, and actually completely free.
Oh, but look at this ward vision. I'm just dumbfounded by how many wards there are on this map. So you look at why they've been able to just take all these objectives is because they just know where everyone is. I mean, that's what 7 wards on the map just from AngryPikachu's.
I mean, let's look at the ward count here. Everybody in the Perpetuum has placed at least 5 wards on the support speed. We see 5 from Geb, 4 from Sun Wukong, but at the same time, AngryPikachu, 3. Everybody's placed a ton of wards here, but the fight breaking out here over near this Gold Fury. They want to play this dance of death that has respawned Shadow Boy. Both teams backing off, but this is part of the very, very long con and dance known as the Gold Fury at 13 minutes.
Well, the thing is that Perpetuum does not want to give up the Gold Fury right now. They've got more kills, but they still are down in gold. They have to be looking towards some of these objectives rather than looking at just team fighting. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and give it another try. So Wukong going to be the first one to go in. He's going to go up with his ultimate and not really going to be able to connect with anything just yet. A lot of the members of AngryPikachu are retreating, but on the backside, that's a very dangerously low ISIS, and dangerously low was the Gavin too. He's going to be the first one to fall out of this team fight. And now they're continuing the pressure. Serqet going to go ahead and use the ultimate onto Wukong. He's going to be taken out. She's going to be taken out as well. And they are all going to retreat, lick their wounds, and possibly come back at this Gold Fury attempt. But I think that there is an advantage in favor of AngryPikachu's.
Yeah, and it could get even bigger as Perpetuum still wants to fight. Tikkyy gets taunted in. Does have the beads, but he's got no extra out here. Gets stunned. Thrown into a wall by TheBushyyy right there, and a big kill for the AngryPikachu as now Perpetuum looking to get aggressive here. They've got to try to stop this. They know they need this objective gold as the kills are now even. They managed to dissuade AngryPikachu from looking for a fight here, from looking for the Gold Fury, but Bushyyy still wants action, he still wants blood, he smells it for sure, but Vastrakal, giving as good as he gets here, will dodge away from most of these shots, actually trade back very nicely onto the Bushyyy there. So Bushyyy on the losing end of that trade ever so slightly, still 2 levels up though, so he's in a happy lead right now. Perpetuum have fallen down. The kill lead has all but vanished now, and we do see a 3,000 gold differential in favor of AngryPikachu. It's only continuing to grow now.
Whew, they have all the potential to do so, and even though their team comp is not really focused on team fighting, they've been doing a relatively decent job. However, there are certain instances where it's looking a bit difficult for them, but I think one of the biggest issues that Perpetuum is having is they're not really unified in their fight, a collective effort. I mean, we saw Wukong go in initially, and then everyone else was kind of distant from him, and then the fight just kind of continued on a little bit. You had Geb over on the backside, and that was where it also went downhill from there. So when Geb was on the backside fighting by himself, there was no real connection between the two teams, or between the two halves of Perpetuum to get those kills. They just kind of went at AngryPikachu and said, alright, we have the team fight comp, but we're not really team fighting that effectively.
And also, it also bears on the fact that look at the ward control from the AngryPikachu. It's not just wards everywhere. It's not just mindless warding. This is absolute vision control here. They're putting down sentry wards in key areas, looking for wards from this. Now a big fight coming through. Finds a taunt right into a massive combo. Not going to find the kills. It's going to send Perpetuum reeling away from that combo. And what a fight as Perpetuum just going to be forced back as the Gold Fury is set up here at almost no cost. The AngryPikachu, just a few short cooldowns blown, and now AngryPikachu know exactly where Perpetuum will have to come from. They know exactly where Perpetuum will be, and that is the strength of their control right now. Perpetuum just cannot find ward control as it's all anti-vision here as the fight breaking out. Dirgius tries to go in, but the AngryPikachu are already split up and look for the action. Lopez will find the first kill as the fight as Tikkyy is the one to fall. Bushyyy returns fire, picking off Dirgius before he can get a full-on cataclysm down. It's not very effective as now Reavel trying to push his way through. BigManTingz tries to block in case of Tigers right there, but no Tigers to be found. He's doing what he can to buy time for his team to get the Gold Fury. They don't quite care about the kills here. They care about the objectives. And this is why AngryPikachu's walking away with the second Gold Fury of the game as the kill lead is all but evaporate Perpetuum, and it now trends in favor of AngryPikachu's, and the Golden Experience lead looking big for them now.
It is just so hard for Perpetuum right now because they're not unified in how they approach this AngryPikachu's team, and the more they get behind, the harder a good team comp, you know, as far as what Perpetuum has, is going to be able to actually do anything. It's going to be so hard for them to actually get involved or get into the enemy lines and actually do something because they're so far behind. The experience difference is just making a huge pay-in for the guys on Angry Pikachu's, so they're not going to be able to get the kill damage, they're not going to be able to get the CC, they're not going to have their tanky body up front long enough. I mean, we're reaching now 5k experience difference. Chronos is now at the point where he can start split pushing. In fact, I'm looking for him to start doing so, just to maybe get some more objective gold, or at least distract the enemy team.
And it's just going to get worse, like he said here, as now we'll see the game start to slow down just to a tiny bit of a crawl. Fire Giant going to become an objective soon enough, as the vision control does not stop from the Angry Pikachu. Looks like BigManTingz actually wants to fight. They smell it out this time, but they pulled in the cooldown. Tikkyy in a world of hurt right now and in big trouble. Shield from Dirgius will come on through as Tikkyy teleports to safety. Lace up, lurking around, waiting for his in, as the rest of Perpetuum looks to join the fight. A two-man Cataclysm not going to do enough work. There's BigManTingz, the only one really fully caught out there, dodging away from the full. A three-man taunt, drives to a massive Spirit Ball, but it's not enough for the beams already coming through. Vastrakal finds the turnaround here, and this could be the fight for Perpetuum wants to swing things around. Reavel's clone will be the sacrificial lamb for his team, as he goes back in the sky and lands back on the ground. Now a 4v5. Angry Pikachu's actually rushing forward to meet Perpetuum, and Perpetuum on a full retreat here, trying to find their way through here as Reavel gonna actually get stunned into a pillar. No Spirit Ball going to land or connect there, as Bushyyy takes a bit of trade and poke back Tikkyy, waiting for his way in, but Bushyyy getting taken down low. Tikkyy up in the air, looking to crash and burn as he finds the Bushyyy out of the action, and there we go, that's the next kill they need. A Surrender Vote kicks off, but it's not going to go on through as Lofes goes into his ulti, but he's on the wrong side of enemy line. Lofes likely to fall despite a great stun. Athena gonna not get dropped in, but Lofes actually finds a return kill, but Dirgius is the one to secure the shutdown gold. 9-9 is Perpetuum starting to inch on back in, but they can't just be satisfied with the kills. They've got to get something, or else even with what they got here, it's not going to be enough to push back the Angry Pikachus.
If they don't do something soon, they're looking at a very rough game. They need to at least be able to take a mid-tower, but unfortunately they weren't even able to do that. In fact, Lace was able to find a double kill, looking for the triple kill. He does have a lot of mobility, and that Link is going to add on to it. Thor using the last bit of his mana to just try and escape, but Athena taunting, and then on top of that, the Serqet coming in with the CC. This should be a dead. Yeah, that should be a dead Tikkyy. He's going to be taken out. That's a killing spree for Lace. Triple kill unofficially, and the members of Angry Pikachus are looking towards the Fire Giant.
It's a reasonable thing to go for at this point. 3 down inside of Perpetuum, most of the major cooldown. Dirgius will be back up in the action soon enough, but I don't think his Cataclysm will be enough to actually stop this. The health bars are low inside of Angry Pikachu, so they've got to fight this Fire Giant perfectly almost. But so far, so good. AngryDayQQ coming in for an arrival here. Will pop out the ward really quickly, but nothing arriving just yet. He knows what's going on, but he's got to make a quick move. BigManTingz getting incredibly low, but we do see a certain protection ready for secure. BigManTingz actually might die here. Gonna jump away, but Fire Giant actually claims the victim. However, Pikachu's still secure the Fire Giant, as we're seeing a lot of stuttering. Shadow Boy, are you seeing this on your end as well?
Yeah.
Alright, well, unfortunate thing, but good for the Angry Pikachu that they have secured the Fire Giant, secured their buffs on a retreat there. Perpetuum not able to contest there as they looked to respawn. Had to wait on out, and it wasn't a safe thing for them at all, as now Pikachu's in the driver's seat completely. A 6,000 gold differential. Experience trending upwards hard for them, and a Fire Giant now in their banks. Even with BigManTingz down, they've still got Fire Giants on all the big carries.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they lost it on Athena, not necessarily in the world. You don't really look to Athena be your main damage dealer. You just want her to tank the raid boss a little bit, and she did that. She did a wonderful job with that, and now they can just go ahead, be happy, and move forward with this Fire Giant and potentially make up a huge power play to clear out the rest of these towers that are still remaining on the map.
Yeah, this is where the game gets really dangerous. Angry Pikachus, with their pick comp, have been fairly strong throughout the game. They've played it to their strengths, and they've been winning it quite nicely. They've picked a lot of team fights, and they've done once with it. Now they're ahead. They have a 4-way threat team. You've got an Anhur who's going to be providing pillars and heavy amounts of damage with the penetration provided by his pillar. You've got Darzer, and we can't ever afford to understate the amount of damage that Isis can put out. JustLofes reaching that critical mass on Chronos very soon enough. And Lace playing a Serqet. We've all had Serqet one-shot horror stories on our carries at some point in our Smite lives. So, Angry Pikachu, now that they're ahead, have one of the more terrifying team comps with how much damage they have on their head. Is now BigManTingz looking for the fight. Dirgius follows through for a great Cataclysm catching on to 3 here. This could be the disaster they need. As is now Pikachu's on a full retreat, but Perpetuum can't afford to chase on in. Tikkyy hits nobody there as he's forced to teleport away. The fight now split up. Angry Pikachu's looking for a flank. The Fire Giant sustaining them and keeping them running on. They've got fire in their veins, but ice in their blood, it seems, as they're looking to push on forward. Pillar goes down, but, well, not quite doing much of anything there. But they have forced away the rest of Perpetuum. A free tower, and I think they should be able to cure all of these tier 2s here in their Fire Giant.
Now they're making their way over towards the Gold Fury, it appears to be the call. They didn't want to go and clear the last remaining tier 2 in the middle lane. I might have been a bit too greedy, Athena a little bit too low, so I can respect this decision. But Thor is on his way over. Not sure if I agree on a defense here by the guys on Perpetuum. Gold Fury already gone. Bushyyy might be in a bit of trouble, but the CC and damage didn't really amount to up to anything. And Serqet gonna come down with some damage on the Thor, but he's gonna be able to escape very, excuse me. He tried to escape, was able to do so. Now the rest of the members of Perpetuum are just on the full retreat, hiding under their Phoenix.
Yeah, they're on a full retreat, and there isn't too much they can do here. A full fire to the team with so much damage out of Angry Pikachu. Not something you can easily mount a defense against. Between the sustained and physical damage that the Angry Pikachus have as well, even Bushyyy just having a little laugh here as he pushes Darzer back. Not really a whole lot you can do against these towers. They're going to melt like butter under pressure. You could see Dirgius fighting a fight. He's got the kind of catches 3 as AngryDayQQ finishes off late. This could be the fight they want as the Sunbreaker comes on through. Dirgius still doing what he can to tank up the enemy lines here, but Reavel going to get absolutely shredded. Now Tikkyy looking for the stun, does land the wall on Darzer, but Darzer dodges away. Bounce not quite landing here from AngryDayQQ as he needs to find his way on through. Lands some meters, does AngryDay, but he's still looking to go forward and can't quite find Tikkyy up, but Reavel is going down soon enough. He's got fumes left, he's using the pillar to juke, but unfortunately BigManTingz doesn't need to worry about it. Bushyyy secures a return around kill there as AngryDayQQ simply is going to be safe from the Sphere Bolt as it detonates a little too late there. Time's going to stop for Vastrakal, will pop the beads as the rifts are coming on through. Swing Gut not going to be able to stay alive here as the Sphere Bolt will land. One more shot, one more kill. We're looking for Chronos to finish him up, but Lofes can't quite find the time rift. But the health bars are so low. AngryDayQQ will secure the turnaround kill here onto his opponent, but Vastrakal is going to fall in the backside. Dirgius next to go as Lofes picks up a double 1 versus 2 right there, and the dive is successful. Lofes walking away with a double 7-1 on Chronos, looking massive right now for the Angry Pikachus as 10,000 gold now separate these two teams.
Oh, but almost landing the stun. Chronos looking for the aggressive play onto the Agni, not able to do so, however. And that's gonna be Agni chilling out under the tower for a little bit. No one else is here just yet. Nope, Athena here. Is she gonna go in? Yep, there's the taunt. Misses it, unfortunately, and they might be able to get this tier 2 tower. Thor trying to make a big play to prevent that, and I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, unfortunately, but oh, here we go. We're going to try to see what they can do here as BigManTingz is lurking around in the jungle here. We see the rest of Angry Pikachu's not too far behind. Fire Giant stepping up to the plate soon enough as Perpetuum. Oh, they're still not going to go down and out just yet. They're going to contest to their last breath, it seems, and so far hasn't worked out for them nearly enough, but they're still fighting, which is respectable.
Meanwhile, over in the Fire Giant pit, big old, mean old Fire Giant is back up and living. The question is who's going to take him this time around? And it looks like everyone is contesting the Ward Vision on it right now in favor of Perpetuum, but soon that could change as Angry Pikachus are the ones in the lead right now.
Angry Pikachu's quite heavily in the lead, and that's not a fact to be understated here. 16-12, though, is the kill score, but Pikachu's, like we said, enough here, have played the objective game incredibly well versus Perpetuum, and that is one of the downfalls that Perpetuum has faced in this game here. The word control has been almost immaculate from the Angry Pikachus, choking out Perpetuum wherever they want to go here, and just denying them any form of map play in every situation. And against a team like this, at a level of play like this, and we've seen the EU challenges go, this is a scene that produced Epsilon, this split, and we've got a lot of those strong teams here. If you're going to get choked out in Vision, there's no way you'll be able to play against these guys in the slightest. And that's just very good play from the team that's doing the chokehold here.
So now Angry Pikachu's hovering around this last tower, has no health. They want to go for the Fire Giant. That is the big objective that is probably going to secure the victory for Angry Pikachu. And with no vision on that objective, most of the guys of Perpetuum have no idea it's actually being done right now, and it is actually almost done. In fact, it is done.
In a situation like this, I think they know what was happening, but you can't really get in there to stop it here. You could try
Have
to
to.
break the line. You have
Have
to,
to.
but unfortunately, there's just no way in there. The front line was just a bit too much. If they tried to walk past, it would have been game over in the slightest. But now it's a slow but sure death, it seems, Shadow Boy. So, like you said, they had to, but they just couldn't.
I think that if anything, they need to just go for it. Thor needed to go up in the air. Cataclysm needs to come out. You have to basically go for it. You have enough AoE to where maybe plus these, the imaginary sixth man of the fire giant, you got some kind of play. But now they're going to try and make that same kind of AoE play under their Phoenix, and actually not under their Phoenix, a little bit out of it, and it's going to actually result in a lot of death for them. Thor, the first one to go, and it's going to continue from there. I don't think they're going to be able to defend this Phoenix at all, as Chronos is just going to go ahead, man up, tank it up for a little bit.
Yeah, I think at this point, this is going to be the end of things here. Now, we'll see the rest of AngryDayQQ pushing onto the base. Dirgius locked down near his fountain, but just out of reach. Lace going to get a barely escaped moment there. Bushyyy just getting aggressive right onto the fountain here. He's got BigManTingz backing him up with a lot of damage reduction here, as AngryDayQQ pushing the rest of Perpetuum into the tower here, letting the minions start pushing up, and they're going to look to put pressure onto the Titan. They've got a lot of damage here, but a 3-man Noxus Fumes doing work. Darzer right next to a Phoenix there. He's got to play it so safe. As Reavel could turn this one around, but the Tiger Stun won't catch on just yet. Bede will dodge away from the Spirit Balls. That could have been certain death if he got caught out right there. But for now, Pikachu need to make a bit of a retreat here. Get some lifesteal, let that Fire Giant tick on up on them, and get some mid-waves pushing for Phoenixes all over the rest of the map.
Now we see that the rest of the AngryDayQQs are looking towards the Gold Fury. They could get it, but their Isis is actually getting chased. Thor going into the air. He's actually going to try and land on her and does succeed. And that's going to be a dead Isis. No one around to help him. But they are going for the Gold Fury. 2 versus 3 now, but AngryDayQQ was able to get it on her, able to impale Thor away from potentially stealing it, so good on them. They're still going to have to retreat here, as it looks like they just don't have anybody there with them to really back this up, and unfortunately the BigManTingz might have bit off a bit more than he could chew. He was standing there looking at 4 members, excuse me, no, 5, standing there looking at a whole 5 members of Perpetuum with no mana. He had no mana at all.
Yeah, he had nothing at all. Unfortunately, now we have nothing but stasis, it seems. Shadow Boy, are you at least able to see the rest of the game ongoing right now?
I am not.
Well, it looks like the game has most likely ended as between server issues and, well, spectator. Usually what this means at this point in the game is that the game has ended within 3 minutes from now. We're going to consult with the admins really quickly, and we'll have news for you soon enough. But as it was with the last game, that is most likely what occurred here. But as it stands, Shadow Boy, yeah, Perpetuum finishes the push to win here. So Perpetuum actually walk away with this game, from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Hold on.
Behind.
Oh, wait, hold on.
We're hearing Perpetuum walk away with the win here. Why aren't we able to see this? Let's press this one more time. Perpetuum wins the game here, and unfortunately we can't finish it off as, oh, we just got to bring you guys the next game, but I'm going to try to get news on how exactly that happened, because we should at least try to bring you news on that one, but we're going to go to a short break soon while we try to figure out what we can do now. Is we've got to bring you another game now, so we'll be right back with more Challenger Cup action. This is brought to you by Cheer Monster and hi-rez Studios. So don't go anywhere. We'll hopefully be back with a full game.